2 Corinthians 4:6. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. Ephesians 5:8. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. Romans 9:19-20. Thou wilt say then unto me, Why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Why hast thou made me thus? Hello everyone, Zechariah 3x4 here, and today we're going to do a fun little video, or activity if you will, scientific demonstration, to show how your inward being affects your outward being and how your resistance against God's will can affect your outward being as well. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with a battery, which is going to represent your inward being, and note that this voltage here is going to tend to increase and be proportional to how much you're mingled with Christ. So the more you abide and have a relationship with Christ, the higher the voltage is going to be. Alright, now let's go over and let's create a wire that's going to connect to something called the outward beam. The best way to do this is through something called a light bulb, which you're probably all familiar with. You're familiar with a battery and a light bulb. And then we're just going to connect up a few wires in order to complete the circuit. But however, there's something you might not be as familiar with, which is a resistor. This resistor here is essentially kind of like a blockage, if you will, to creating the flow of these negatively charged particles called electrons, which is what's traveling through a circuit as when it's complete. So as you see here, when you have a circuit complete and you have a path for all the electrons to pass through, then you're able to get a flow, and that flow is able to generate brightness inside the light bulb. Now let's just consider a case when you were born, right? So when you're born, you do not really know Christ. You don't know Christ if at all. So let's just minimize that, if you will. Let's not even say it. And then you have a maximum resistance against God's will. So this resistance against God's will, let's just put to the max, is that because you don't know about God's will when you're born, right? You're born to sin. But however, what you can see here is that this light bulb here is very dim. Your outward being is reflective of your inward being here. So you aren't really shining at all. Now, before I get into this, I'm going to go into something called Ohm's Law. So Ohm's Law is essentially able to relate these variables to each other. Ohm's Law relates the voltage, which is in the battery, to the current, which is what we're looking for. The current is going to be how much, it's going to show how bright that light bulb is going to become. And the resistance is how much you're resisting against God's will. And this is related as voltage is equal to current times resistance. Now, rearranged for current, you can see that voltage over resistance equals current. The voltage needs to be maximized, so big, and then resistance needs to be minimized, small. So when voltage is maximized and then resistance is minimized, big over small creates a big current. That's what we want to maximize. Okay? Now, let's consider the case when you're born again, right? So when you're born again, you have Christ mingling into you. So you may know about Christ, but for the point, so you have a little bit of voltage into you, but however, as you start understanding Christ, he starts to become brighter and brighter inside of you. You get a deeper relationship with him, and as you can see, this light bulb tends to keep increasing in its intensity and brightness. Let's just put it at 30 for now. 30. But then you have this resistance which is going to be against God's will. So the world is working with you. But however, you want to work against the world's will and work more towards God's will. So in order to do that, when you do that, you can see that your resistance against God's will is going to be decreasing. And when that happens, you're obeying God's will, you keep abiding in God's will, and you see the light keeps getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. It keeps getting brighter. Let's just put it at 4.5 ohms, if you will. As you can see here, you have these electrons going like way through. You have a lot of electrons passing through this light bulb per second. So yeah, that's it. Just pretty much a fun video just to illustrate the point of how important it is for Christ to mingle with you, and how you want to resist against the world's temptations and abide by God's rules, and how that is reflective of your outward being, of your inward being. Your inward being causes your outward being to be generated. All right, that's it. Amen. God bless, my brothers. Have a great rest of your day.